Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. My name is Tabitha. I am Starland GP of Light, and you are walking in to the Starlight Haven. And today we are going to be talking about a spiritual awakening, but from the sense of grid working, because grid working is something that I'm really feeling a lot of people moving forward and stepping into their role, and that is requiring us to move past a lot of fears that are here, just due to specific traumas that we may be carrying, but also ones that are ancient, that are very old, that we are actually still carrying within our templating and our blueprint. And this is ancient history, right? So this is stuff that is coming forward and is still living in our cells, is living in different parts of the world that are waiting for us to reclaim and heal. So from the very beginning, we are essentially doing grid working, because the parts and pieces of us that are missing, that are scattered, are also the parts and pieces that are getting pinpointed to finding in the future based on the traumas that we are accumulating and experiencing now. So say you're going through the craziest time of your life, well, there are implications of that within these prior timelines that have existed on this earth before, but they're also bringing awareness to certain parts of our body that isn't experiencing the sovereignty that it was meant to experience as a being incarnated. So yeah, I mean, we can get into the first part of this is our galactic history, which is vast and wide. And keep in mind, this is it's all theoretical. So this is all stuff that, could be up for debate, is up for debate, and it's not things that we are taught within our education systems. And if you are, a cosmic being that is birthing children now, you're more likely to probably integrate some of this awareness within your own family unit. And, some of these kids are probably coming in already with the awareness that, we've been in this slavery matrix for a really long time. Like, this is what this planet has kind of been, a slavery planet, and we are currently working through releasing the layers. And we can kind of see this with the way that, within our own lives, the ways that we are still enslaved and the ways that we're still living our life kind of with blinders on. Like, we're not really seeing, we're kind of just doing, and it's like rolling with emotions, and we don't know why we're here. But purpose is such a big piece, and it's so important. And in order to find the purpose, we have to reclaim the pieces of ourselves that are missing, so we can make embodied decisions when we're moving forward on our path, instead of constantly, maybe interacting from a place of fear, because we are fearing the unknown and things that we can't even perceive yet, but are feeling at an energetic level within the cellular body. So it's time that we start to move forward and start to really do the inner work about, the things that we're really struggling with. And, we're living in a fallen matrix with a lot of different matrices, but some of them can be narrowed down to little parts and pieces where it's like, okay, well, one thing, when we look out into society, we can see an expression of greed, right? Greed is one that we all know, we all see. We can see starvation, which for me is an offshoot of greed. We can see different layers of just giving too much to others and not keeping enough for ourselves, which is just an offshoot of prostitution energy. And not in the sense of, sex working, but more in the sense of I'm giving too much of myself that I don't have enough for me. And that's another form of just starvation. So these things are all kind of playing into one umbrella of what a fallen matrices really is. Because, like I've said in prior videos, a matrix is actually the word for mother, right? So it's something that nurtures us, that keeps us here, and is supporting us while we're on our journey on this planet. But when there's so many things placed within a grid that are trying to kind of alter that reality, that organic expression of mother, and it's trying to alter it to make it something else. We don't get to have that experience. So what we are experiencing while we're unconscious is more of the fallen matrix aspects, and we start to see this more as we wake up. And it doesn't have to be like a spiritual awakening necessarily. We're aware of it when we go outside and we see so much pain and suffering, and we're like, wow, is this really the way? You know, it's not. This isn't the way, right? We're meant to be living in bliss and pleasure and just absolute alignment with God. And so, yeah, your life so far, through the missing parts and pieces, has been completely planned to perfection, even to the parents that you have, to the ancestry that you're coming in with your DNA. Even if, you know, if we talk about our DNA kind of being altered through breeding and different things like that, which is a whole nother topic, but even that in itself has been perfection, because we are carrying the codes that we need to heal the planet. So when we're born into these families and we're maybe not receiving what we need, or maybe we are receiving what we need, we are being brought into the exact genetics that we need in order to unlock so much of the magic that is stored within the grids, within the ley line systems, that is really just waiting for us to unlock and reopen within our hearts, so we can start to connect up into the galaxies, the cosmos, and the galactic beings that we really truly are at our core, and start to integrate that and bring that within us. But we have to start working through a lot of the star-seeded trauma. And like I said, you know, some of the starseed trauma is replicating itself through what we perceive as human experience. So being caught in slavery matrices, being, you know, living life in a haze, like these are all things, or like, you know, struggling with fertility is one, having a hard time connecting to motherhood is one, or having a hard time connecting to fatherhood. These are all things that are connected to these old fallen matrix timelines that are actually a galactic experience that is housed within our planetary structure. So we're working on dismantling that within our own personal lives. And while we may not know it, we are grid working. So we are working within the shadow realms. We are working with these parts of ourselves that we have always deemed as unlovable, unlikable, and shameful. And we are shedding the light and love on them. That way we can start to call back in these pieces to see the bigger picture of the timelines and lifetimes where we have been scattered throughout the planet through different extinction events, massacres, and different genocides, that we can bring them back into the body for wholeness and awareness of what it's like to bring multiple pieces back into this one embodied human. If that makes sense, hopefully. Yeah. This is just a transmission, guys. Just receive. Some of it's not connecting in. But yeah, so, and as you start to really do that inner grid working that you're doing, where you're integrating all of the fallen matrix aspects, you're looking at your childhood, you're looking at your adulthood, you're looking at any traumas that you are carrying within the body, you'll start to see different fallen matrix holographic aspects that are attached to the body, and you will get to remove them so we can experience sovereignty on an even deeper level. And the whole point of this, right, because this is, you know, we might be asking ourselves, well, what's the point of doing that? Like, why are we doing all of this? Well, it's so we can reclaim the sovereignty that has been, you know, quote unquote, taken from us, right? Because we've been stuck here in this, under this veil, which, you know, even if it maybe the intention was slavery, it kind of backfires because we learn all of these beautiful lessons. We learn about loss, we learn about love and its connection to loss, and we learn about fear, and we learn about all of these things that aren't our true being, and we integrate them and transmute them. And then we get to, you know, bring that out into the world and create medicine. So it's not for nothing, right? We are experiencing these things for a reason. And it's for actually, you know, a beautiful reason, right? But in order to move forward, so if humanity can truly experience liberty and freedom in its true sense of the word, right? Not what we're taught, not what we are fed. In its true sense of the meaning, true justice for us is going to be where we are unaltered, right? We are able to make the decisions that we want to make without interference of fallen matrix. We are able to make and just like create leaps and bounds in our own creativity, where we're like, yeah, we're creating, we're experiencing God, and we're like, you know, really jiving with one another and vibing because we are so in alignment, and we are recreating Earth in a place that is embodied, right? And that starts within us, right? We can't do our global work until we start doing our inner work. And that really quickly starts to transition into the global work, especially with, you know, if you're really called to grid working, you really start to see these things. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share this transmission about our lives here on this planet, and how a lot of this is working in conjunction with grid working. And while we might not identify as grid workers, or we might say we've never grid worked before, a lot of us already have. We've started this work. We've lived in a childhood home. We've gone back to those childhood homes, and we've, you know, experienced the things that we need to feel. You know, some of us like maybe have trauma with our childhood homes. We go back and we do the healing work that we need to do around that area and that space, and really and sit with it. That's grid working. That's healing. That's reclaiming childhood pieces that are stuck in that land. So yeah, so we're all grid workers. And we're just learning how to really be conscious of it, and how to really implement our unique medicine into grid working, and to be able to follow that North Star that's seated within the soul, that is coming online, and that is beckoning you to open the door and see what's behind it, and see what magic that can be created for you and your life. So yeah, that's all I had to share today, and thank you for paying witness to my transmission. Sending you all love and light. Bye.